Hey everyone. It's been a minute since I filmed a video, mostly because work has been really kind of busy, kind of stressful, so I just haven't had a whole lot of time to dedicate to filming or updating the website. So this is just me showing off some new camping gear that I got for the holidays and trying it out, just setting it up in a park around Madison and just seeing how it all works and make sure that I know how it all goes together, how it all works, what functions, what doesn't, any changes I need to make before I actually head out on a trip with it. So that's what we're gonna be doing together today. This is my very first time ever setting this up, so it's me experimenting, figuring out how far apart my trees need to be to work with this length of hammock. Now this hammock is a lot larger than I'm sort of used to as far as I think the length. I don't actually remember what the length of the Eno single nest is, but I feel like you can actually put them between trees that are a little bit closer together than this. But yeah, this is just very billowy fabric. Also, it's not very structured. And then, so just figuring out that tension on that top ridge line, that's also new for me. I've never had a hammock that's had a ridge line before. So this is all very new to me. It's all very experimental. And I, of course, welcome feedback, nice feedback. No mansplainers, please. I have watched a lot of Dutch's videos, and I watched Shug and a couple other of the hammock community folks out there to kind of learn more about this. This is why I wanted to go with Dutchware, because there's so much good content, and Dutch puts out his own really good content about his products. So, all right, I also bought an underquilt for this, so we're gonna try to set that up and see how that goes. All right, it took a little bit of finesse and adjustment to get everything where I wanted it, but I realized I had to really raise up the tie-offs on the trees and the whoopie slings to really get off the ground more, because this hammock is so giving that as soon as you sit in it, you almost touch the ground, even like this high off. These aren't the best trees either, but still pretty good. I have the underquilt on here, and I could already tell it was working. It was a little too loose on the back side around my shoulder. I could feel the wind coming through, so just tightened it up a little bit. And we'll also just have to get used to how to adjust an underquilt, because I've actually never used one before. And the underquilt that I picked up was, again, off of Dutch's website. It was from Cedar Ridge Outdoors. It is a synthetic underquilt, and I have a mix of synthetic and down items. I like synthetic materials, even though they're a little bit more heavy, because if they get wet, you don't lose your heat from them, and they still fluff up nicely, and they're cozy. They don't pack down quite as well, but that's okay. I can live with that. So here she is for now. I know that there's supposed to be like a head end and a foot end of the hammock, but I laid in it. I usually lay from this way to that way, and it felt comfortable for me. I'm only 5'5" though, so I probably have a lot more flexibility in this thing than a lot of other people do. One of the amazing features that I really like about this design for the hammock too, with the bug net integrated in, is that usually there's a little gap that gets created here where kind of the hammock and the bug netting meet if this doesn't get like tightened up enough. But Dutch thought of that, so he put these little covers over so you don't have that gap of netting. So then when you're laying down in the hammock, everything sort of tightens up and creates a nice little seal against insects, mosquitoes. Right now we don't have to worry about that. It's a beautiful December day. Very little snow, not very cold. I'm out here in a sweatshirt basically right now. It got too warm setting up the hammock. So now I'm going to test out the continuous Ridgeline and TATO Tarp system. So I'm going to see if I can get it set up here between these trees before the sun goes down. Oh my goodness, we're all just about there. So we'll see how that goes. So I've somewhat abandoned the messing around with putting up a tarp portion of my little endeavor, because the Wasp on the tarp line is so tight. I'm having a really hard time getting it undone. It's probably going to take a few tries. It's like really stuck in there. And I'm a pretty strong person, and it's very challenging to get that line back out of that piece. I'll show you. So here's that Wasp, and this little piece here is not coming back out of this side. I'm gonna go around the other side and try to pull it that direction, but yeah, this is like the third time that I've messed with it, and it's really difficult to undo. I undid the rest of the slack in the line. But yeah, so I'm gonna mess with the tarp stuff another day. I'm losing daylight, so for now, just gonna leave it at that. So got the hammock, my tarp's hanging off of the hammock. So far I really like it. It's definitely gonna take a few tries of just setting it up and practicing. But I think once I get the hang of it, I'm going to really enjoy the system. The hammock is very comfortable, it's very large, and I didn't show y'all this, but I have a little pocket that exists to hold my phone and maybe a water bottle that just stays in the hammock on the Ridgeline here. That is an add-on that you have to purchase separately from Dutch. But he has all sorts of little pockets and slings and things designed to work in the hammocks. There's also like a foot sling kind of pocket thing you can get, so might experiment with some of the accessories down the road depending on kind of what I need. But for now, I'm happy with it. It fits my Nemo Ridgeback in there. So I think paired with this is a 40-degree underquilt, and that, and maybe even an inflatable pad kind of in between the two, I think this setup could be really great for fall and winter camping, without having to go too crazy on a super heavy-duty underquilt, and just using a regular sleeping bag, or maybe even finding a heavier version of my Sierra Designs quilt. All right, so I managed to get the Ridgeline down. Line that's used is very fine, but then it gets kind of smushed up into that little Wasp crevice. So then it doesn't move around on you, but then it got just really stuck in there. So it took a little bit of finagling, but I was able to get it down. Like I said, I'm kind of running out of daylight, so I just actually wanted to spend more time relaxing in the actual hammock itself. So I have the Nemo Ridgeline underneath of me, and I have the underquilt, as you can see the the shadow of it through the hammock itself. So it's a very light material, this hammock. I got the Hexon 1 because I average around 180 pounds, give or take. So I'm a weightlifter, I'm also a little chubby, so whatever, no shame. But I don't think that I would be, I think the weight limit is 200 pounds on this, so I'm not really worried about that. The material's really soft. It is very breathable, so in the summertime it'd be really nice, but at the same time, cold weather camping, you definitely would want an underquilt or some sort of sleeping pad or sleeping mat. I would also like to test this out with I bought a Nemo tensor recently to replace my old Climate Static V. I still like that sleeping pad. It's just very heavy, and they only fill up to be, I think, about like 2 to 2.5 inches, where I think the tensor is like 3.5 inches, so I don't bottom out on it as much, especially as like I'm a side slash back slash everything sleeper, so I'll probably keep the Climate around for more like car camping type stuff, just because it's a little bit heavier. I'm also thinking about making it available for people to just take out on trips. So for RAR Madison, we are going to be putting together a gear library for people to check out gear. So that's probably where some of my older hammock stuff is going to go too. Like I have a double nest and a different bug net for that particular hammock and straps and everything. And I could sell it, I could hold on to it, but A, I kind of want to clear out my gear closet, and B, I would love the opportunity for somebody to be able to not have to buy gear and just take something out and try it without having to spend money on it. I realize I probably could do that by asking friends, but not a lot of my friends are really into this stuff. I mean, they are somewhat, but they're not as gearheady, gear nerdy as I am, so I don't mind supporting companies, and my luxury in life is I don't have kids, so my partner and I get to, have a little bit of income to try these things out, to buy gear and things like that, and then I just sell it or pay it forward. But so far, this setup is a win. It's very spacious. I'm laying nice and flat in the hammock. I love the integrated bug net, and the interior is just really wide open. It feels very nice with the structural ridgeline, keeping that mosquito netting, bug netting off of your face. Let's see if we could get even wider view. There we go. But again, yeah, this little guy moves along the structural ridgeline and just can hold whatever you want, little sundries. For me, it's going to be probably my phone, my earbuds case, maybe a little book. I think you can maybe do a water bottle in this thing. I'll try it. There's, I may have mentioned this before in the video. It depends on how I edited it, but there's a whole bunch of different options that Dutch makes. There's some ones that kind of like hang out at like a little corner shelf type situation, which would be kind of cool. So if you have like clothes or something that you want to put in there, or other items, maybe an extra pillow, extra blanket, something in the corner just in case you need it. You might not need it when you start your sleep, and then you realize as it gets cold throughout the night, which has happened to me a million times, it gets really cold throughout the night, and then you realize, crap, I did actually really want that thing, and instead of having to like go out in my backpack, like I got my gear all like just chilling out there, you can just run out or just reach over and grab it from the shelf, which is a pretty cool idea. I think also I would like to try to find something to put my shoes in. Usually I do like slippers, or I don't have them on right now, but I bought the Booties from Dutch as well. They're not down, but they're the same material as the Underquilt. Actually, I think it's UP is what they call it, Booties, which is also really nice because I sometimes, even though I wear like nice thick wool socks usually, even in the summertime when I'm camping, I still sometimes get cold feet, or like just need like maybe a tiny little bit of extra insulation here or there next to me. So those are like perfect. I'm gonna grab those. All right, this is what they look like. They come in this mesh bag. I am kind of curious if this is the mesh that they've started using, it's that new mesh material that they've started making hammocks out of. You should go watch that video. Go over to Dutch's YouTube, and they put like something like 1,000 pounds of weight into a mesh hammock, and it still doesn't fail. It's insane. Some of the materials that are coming out for ultralight camping and stuff is friggin' wild. But as you can see, ta-da, olive booties. These are a size small, and yeah, they kind of got that ripstop nylon on the outside and the UP material on the inside. I wear a 7.5 or 8. I have very wide Midwestern feet. And they fit nicely. They do have a draw cord, so you can cinch them down. Oh, I wish it was a one-handed, but it's not. That's okay though. Yeah, stylish, right? Matches the hammock. I went with olive drab. I just really like dark colors because I also, on the occasion, like to go stealth camping. Oh yeah, now my toesies are cozy. So it's very wet and there's lots of leaves and mud on the ground, so my feet are actually kind of cold right now, so these are perfect. But yeah, it's just a little extra something just to insulate your feet, keep them warm, keep them nice and soft. It's very nice feeling. I did see a review on the website where somebody was complaining that there wasn't enough fill around the toes. I could see that, but I don't know, at the same time, like, there's a bunch of different versions of these out on the market, and they're made out of a bunch of different materials. A lot of them are down or dry down. Some of them have a rubberized bottom to them, so you can actually wear them like more out around your campsite. These ones I wouldn't. These are just like strictly sleeping booties, in my opinion. But for what they are, I think they're a great product. The price was ridiculously cheap. Like, I want to say like $35, maybe even less, because Dutch is having a sale. Usually they don't have sales. So when I saw this and I knew that I was getting Christmas money, I just jumped on the chance to pick up this hammock. I had been honestly looking at it for years, like, not even kidding, and just like couldn't justify it. And then finally I was like, oh my god, it's on sale. It's less than $100. Like, I don't care. I'm gonna do it. So I did. And then, yeah, I picked up the continuous Ridgeline because that was on sale. I picked up the Booties because they were on sale, and the everything, all this stuff was on sale. So I picked up all of that stuff and was very happy I did so. I also picked up some extra hookworms, and just to have some extra ones, because 8 tie-outs instead of 6, usually a little bit better, especially in windy conditions. So this hammock actually has, it comes with some tie-outs as well, with like elastic, or like the cord, elastic cord. So you can actually pull like out sections of the hammock if you want like a little bit more room. But I don't know, I don't think I really need it. I mean, maybe in like windy conditions it would be helpful, but I'm really enjoying this right now. Like, I don't want to even really go home. I just want to like lay here in the park. This is a really nice setup. I'm really excited to try this out. It's probably in the 30s, maybe in the 40s right now. So I'm still wearing my sweatshirt. I'm a little cold. Like, I'm starting to be like, oh, kind of wish I had my quilt with me. So far, so good. Awesome investment. Thanks, Dutch, and everyone who works for Dutchware. All their stuff is made in Pennsylvania. It's really high quality. It's awesome. The price is right as well. Even not on sale, the price is right. So if you are into hammocking and want to up your game, I would definitely recommend checking out their stuff. They do a lot of stuff. They do make your own gear, and yeah, really good resources. Their customer service is really great, and I don't know what else I could say other than so far so good. First time out in it, setting it up took a little bit of time, but I'm sure I'll get used to it. So all right, that's all, you guys. Thanks for joining.